Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we will see the properties of soil. So, some of the properties of the soil are percolation rate of water in the soil, moisture in the soil, absorption of water by the soil, etc. So, first we will see the percolation rate of water in the soil. So you can see the percolation rate of water in the soil. For that, when we are going outside, in two places we'll take. One is the floor of your house and other one road, kacha road. Okay. Then we have to fill two bottles of same size with water. Then we have to empty the water from the bottle to each space. Okay, one to the floor of your house and one to the road, that is kacha road. So you can see the water on the floor in your home will flow down. So it will not absorbed. But in the kacha road, the water will get absorbed inside. You can see this usually we will see in our daily life. When we pour the water on the floor, it will not absorbed because it is concreted or cemented, right? But in the case of kacha road, when we are pouring water, it will get absorbed. For no, to know more about that, we will do one activity. Okay, so we will make three groups. Okay, name the teams A, B, and C. Okay, then you have to find out how fast the water passes down the soil. So you have to take a hollow cylinder or a pipe. Ensure that each team uses pipe of the same diameter. Okay, so if possible, get a small tin can and cut off its bottom. Otherwise, you can take PVC pipe and cut into 20 centimeter long piece and you can use them. At the place where you collect the soil, place the pipe about 2 centimeter deep in the ground. Then you have to pour some amount of water. In this case, we are taking 200 ml of water. Otherwise, you can take more water, 400 also you can take, no problem. Okay, but you should pour equal amount of water to three groups A, B and C. Okay. For measuring 200 ml of water, you can use one empty 200 ml bottle. Otherwise, if you have 100 ml also you can use, no problem. Okay, but all same. We should pour the three bottles should be the same amount. Okay. So note the time when you start pouring water. When all the water has percolated, leaving the pipe empty, note the time again. Okay. So you have to be careful not let the water spill over and run down on the outside the pipe while pouring. Then we can calculate the rate of percolation by using the formula. Percolation rate you can see in this slide. Percolation rate ml divided by minute. So amount of water, maybe it is 200 ml or 400 ml or 100 ml. How much water we are using, that is the amount of water in milliliter. Okay, divided by percolation time. Percolation time means how much time the water is taking to go down. Okay, that is the percolation time. So when we are taking 200 ml of water, that divided by 20 minutes, time taken by for the percolation is 20 minutes. So the rate of percolation is 10 ml per minute. So like this we can calculate different types of soil. Okay, so maybe sand, the rate of percolation may be more, but in the case of clayey soil the rate of percolation will be less or slow. So in the slide you can see if the given amount of water is 200 ml and the percolation time is 40 minutes, the rate of percolation will be amount of water divided by percolation of time. That is 200 ml divided by 40 minutes. So the answer will be 5 ml per minute. I hope you understood this portion. So when we are pouring the water to different soil like clay soil, little rocky soil and sandy soil, in the clay soil the percolation rate will be very slow. Okay, in the sandy soil the rate of percolation will be very fast, and the loamy soil the percolation will be little more medium level. Next, we will see what is the moisture in the soil. What is the meaning of moisture? Moisture means the water content in the soil is known as moisture. So maybe you have seen some shimmering above the land during the hot summer day. That is because of the evaporation of the moisture present in the soil due to the heat from the sun. Okay, so for that we will do one activity. Now we will do one experiment. For that we have to take a boiling tube, test tube. Then put 2 spoonful of soil sample in it. Heat it on the flame and observe it. You can see some water drops on the test tube. On heating, water in the soil evaporates and moves up and condenses on the cooler inner walls of the upper part of the boiling tube. So the same way it is happening in a hot summer day in a hot field. When the water in the soil by the heat of the sun will heat it up and it will get evaporated. Okay, so the vapor coming out of the soil reflect the sunlight and the air above the soil seems to be shimmer. That is the why we are feeling some shimmering in a hot summer day. Once again I will tell, on a hot summer day the vapor coming out of the soil reflect the sunlight and the air above the soil seems to be shimmer. After heating the soil, take it out of the tube. Compare it with the soil which is not heated. So you can see the difference. Now we have to find out, did all the soil absorb water to the same extent? So for that we will do one experiment. We have to take a plastic funnel and take a filter paper, or you can use newspaper sheet or something, and fold like a cone shape and keep on the funnel. Okay, you can see in this picture, in this slide you can see, and weigh 50 gram of dry powdered soil and pour it into the funnel. Measure a certain amount of water in a measuring cylinder and pour it drop by drop on the soil. You can use a dropper for this purpose. So slowly only you have to pour the water. Pour water all around over the soil. Keep pouring water till it starts dripping. Then subtract the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder from the amount you started with. This is the amount of water retained by the soil. So suppose we will do one calculation. Suppose the weight of the soil is 50 gram. We are taking the soil of 50 gram. So the initial volume of water in the measuring cylinder is UML. Suppose we are taking UML. The final volume after doing this dripping of water and all, the final volume of water in the measuring cylinder is VML. So the volume of water absorbed by the soil we can get by U minus V. Okay, the initial volume of the water in the measuring cylinder, that is the beaker, that is U, and the final volume of water in the measuring cylinder, that is VML. Okay, so when we subtract U minus V, that we will get the weight of water absorbed by the soil, that is U minus V gram. So 1 ml of water has equal weight to 1 gram. So the percentage of water absorbed, you can find out the percentage U minus V divided by 50. 50 is the weight of the soil into 100. Then you will get the percentage of water absorbed by the soil. Okay. So this activity you can repeat with different soil sample. Okay, so you can find out the absorption capacity of soil. absorption of water by the soil, by the different types of soil. Okay. Now we will see the soil and crops. You can see different types of soil in different places. Maybe one place red color will be the another place black color, and we can see different crops. In Kerala, one crop like usually we will cultivate paddy, but in Karnataka another jowar, ragi, like that. So depending upon the soil, the crop can change. So now we will see different types of soil and crops. Different types of soils are found in different parts of India. In some parts they are clay soil, in some other parts they are loamy soil, while some others they are sandy soil. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. These are some of important climatic factors which affect the soil profile and bring changes in the soil structure. The climatic factors such as the change in the climatic factor as well as component of soil determine the various type of vegetation and crop in any region. So clay and loamy soils are both suitable for growing cereals like wheat and gram. Such soils are good at retaining water because clay and loamy soil can hold water. They can retain water. For paddy, soils rich in clay and organic matter and having a good capacity to retain the water are ideal. For lentils like pulses, masoor and all, loamy soils which drain water easily are required. And for cotton, sandy, loam or loamy soil which drain water easily and can hold plenty of air are more suitable. The crops such as wheat are grown in the fine clay soils because they are rich in humus and are very fertile. So you can see different types of crops and different types of soils which used for the proper growth. In different states we can see different types of crops as well as soil. So you have to find out which soil is suitable for which crop. Okay. So I hope this portion is clear to you. So one of the important concern for the soil as well as crop is soil erosion. What is the meaning of soil erosion? The removal of soil by various agents like maybe air, means wind, maybe wind, water, or by deforestation, by the cutting of forest. So it means trees, by the cutting of trees, that is deforestation. The soil will move from one place to another place. So what will happen? The plants or any trees cannot grow in that area. So important concern of agriculture is deforestation, means soil erosion. Okay. So we have to conserve the soil. We have to protect the soil against soil erosion. So the removal of land surface by water, wind or ice is known as soil erosion. So the plant's roots firmly bind the soil. In absence of plants, soils become loose, so it can be moved by wind and flowing water. Erosion of soil is more severe in areas of little or no surface vegetation, such as desert or bare lands. So cutting of trees and deforestation should be prevented, and we should stop that, and effort should be made to increase the green areas. So we have to conserve our land, right? We have to protect our land against soil erosion. So we have to stop deforestation and we have to do afforestation. That means planting of more trees, and we have to save our mother earth.